Hajime Mashite, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And welcome to Sensei Field Trials. Today, we're out going for a ruck in a dangerous northeastern city. High crime, low temperatures, high precipitation of the snowy variety. And on days like today, it's always fun to experiment with your perfumes to see what's going to last, because even though it's butt cold out right now, I'm going to be sweating because, as if you haven't noticed, I've been hanging out at the all-you-can-eat buffet. But anyway, so I love the fact that we are in the cold season because we get to bust out the beefier fragrances, the things that under other circumstances would be almost unbearable to be around in higher temperatures. So today I pulled out an absolute gem, totally under the radar, and I'm happy that it's that way. Everybody likes to say, I've been gatekeeping it. No, it's not gatekeeping it. It's just stupid, expensive, and limited distribution, and it's got a foolish name. But that fragrance is Perfumehead's Canadian Tuxedo. I'm about 100 miles from the Canadian border. So a Canadian tuxedo, for all of you who, never went to fashion school, is when you wear denim on denim, right? Denim shirt, denim jacket, denim pants. It's really snowing here. Check it out. So the fragrance itself also has another important valence going on. Right now, a lot of people are talking about the best vanilla fragrances. Everybody's into like Altair. For some reason, Atelier des Ors, like Lune Feline or Feline Moon, whatever it is. I have a decant of it I got a couple years ago. Thought it was mediocre. Now, for some reason, I guess the brand is paying influencers to say it's not mediocre. It's still mediocre. If you want a good vanilla fragrance, Vanilla Carbone is pretty good, by Atelier Materi. But I think the one that'll wipe the floor with all of them is Canadian Tuxedo. There you go. Hardcore cyclist. He knows what's up. We don't screw around. So this fragrance, first of all, it is the most unique scent profile I've ever smelled. I have never smelled anything that's even close to it. It does remind me slightly of something that, like Emma Wage's Portrayal Man. But if you took Emma Wage's Portrayal Man and you dumped a bunch of vanilla and spices in it. So let's talk about it. The opening, you spray it, you immediately get this contradiction of aromas. It's sweet, it's bitter, it's pleasant, it's funky. It's like that smell where you're like, what is that smell? I want to keep smelling it. I've described it before as it smells like a pair of jeans that have been well worn and underwashed. So I'm still at the opening. I put on a hellacious amount because I don't think that anybody's going to be in the office today. And even if they are, I have my own office. But got the initial blast, 5 sprays, should last me the whole day, especially because I'm heating up under all this gear. I'm like decked out head to toe, rocking the Limbs Boulder boots, waterproof version. And what you get is this spiciness, this creaminess, this greenness, and a little bit of Fahrenheit in there. There's a violet-ish note that makes it so interesting. It is such an interesting fragrance. It's preposterously expensive to buy in retail, and I think it's only at Bergdorf. It might be at other places. You can buy it off their website. I've smelled most of the line in person, I know they're now doing discovery sets, which is good, and they're naming perfumers. And many of the perfumers for these fantastic fragrances are people who aren't the usual cast of characters. They're not your Cecile Zarokians or Dominic Ropions or Julien Rasquinets. They're folks that are up and coming. And that's good, because we need stuff that smells like a Canadian Tuxedo coming from people who aren't just going to be rehashing Baby Cat 8 Ways to Sunday or doing the moon 9 times. We need innovation, and we also don't need whole fragrances, whole genres of fragrances based on aroma chemicals. Like everything that Quentin Biche has put out in the last 3 years smells identical, because he's known for Akigala wood. Akigala wood is a tragedy against mankind. Like, it is the worst thing that's ever happened to perfumery. I know other people don't like amber woods. I quite think they're okay. I like the way they push. I like the way they're sensuous in the dry down. Akigala wood is just this confusing, headache-inducing, so get your nose on Perfumehead's Canadian Tuxedo. I'll check in with you later if I survive the weather and the crime. He's rocking a fragrance called Arctic Job Site. None of us are man enough to wear that fragrance. Oh, almost there. Uh-oh, I see my assistant hasn't started the fire. We're almost at the office. It almost seems like it would have been a good day to review Russian Winter or Baikal Grease or some other like beefy Orige Ladore fragrance. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping there to watch his woods fill up with snow. All right. Get the fire going. Here we are. Some local children left me some artwork. I love them so. And I will catch you inside. So I have my fire started, and it's hotter than the caldera of a volcano in here right now, and I'm enjoying it. Canadian Tuxedo is wearing very well, stripped off the gear, immediately was greeted by this herbaceousness, this sweatiness, not of myself, but of the fragrance. My sweatiness blended magnificently with it. And I'm getting some of those base notes, and I'm here checking out the Perfumehead website, and I'll give you the breakdown of the notes right now. It says up top you have coriander, orange flower, bay leaf, and mandarin. It's an understated citrus. You're not going to get like a refreshing cologne type blast, but what you get is this lift, this ambiance of freshness up top, which I think plays counterpoint to the heart notes, which are themselves really intensely powerful. So there's cumin in here, patchouli, cedar, and elemi. And what those do is those start to create like a sticky stratosphere all around you that suppresses underneath these vanillic notes. There's no vanilla in here, but there are vanillic notes, right? There's tonka bean, Peru balsam, which adds a really interesting je ne sais quoi. Like, is it wood? Is it baked goods? What is it? And then there's cistus labdanum, which is one of my favorite notes, and a warm musk that is also on there. Totally a synthetic musk that's just giving it push and lift. And I can say that this is exquisitely blended. I smell absolutely amazing. On skin, when you get really close up, you can get some of that aromatic citrusiness, but In general, the cloud that surrounds me is of those heart and bass notes, and it's really like a almost like putting a lotion on in terms of a fragrance, and it sticks to you, and it'll stay with me all day, I hope. So check in. Let's get down to business here, and I'll let you know how it goes a little bit later. The perfumer for this is Celine Pendriel, Pendriel, who I believe has done a few other of the Perfumehead fragrances. Not familiar with her work in any other context, but let me tell you, people should be checking her out. I'm gonna go try to track down her other fragrances because this is absolutely masterful. If you put this in a Chanel bottle or an Amouage bottle, you're going to have a mass following for it. This notion of like having bay leaf, cumin, labdanum, it's really an absolute like bomb of a beautiful, unique scent profile. It's been a long day with Perfumehead's Canadian Tuxedo. I'd like to offer a few parting thoughts before I go thaw myself. So, all in all, very happy to have worn this today. And you'll have seen that I spent most of the day in my office and then went to the cathedral. And I have to admit that this is not a fragrance that I felt comfortable wearing in the house of God. It was a little sweaty. It felt slightly inappropriate. And that gave me pause. It made me think about, what are the situations where I should wear this? And those are, to me, places where, you can be slightly profane. This is a sweaty, dirty amber. So who should purchase this? Well, whoever wants to. But I think if you're still early in your fragrance journey, this might not be the vanillic, balsamic, amber fragrance that you need. Perhaps if you are a fan of Ambre Sultan, or are a fan of Tom Ford's Fabulous, or the Blue Beast, Amouage's Interlude Man, you'll enjoy this and you'll be comfortable wearing this. But those of you who are still dipping your toe into the realm of niche and maybe aren't familiar with extrait de parfum concentrations, this might come off as being a little cloying, because to me, when I was sitting in my office near the caldera of a volcano, it did get a little cloying at times. However, all in all, I enjoyed the sweatiness of the cumin, the herbaceousness of the coriander and the bay, and all of the balsamic notes that are in the base. So I would say handle with care, both in terms of the price and in terms of the wearability. However, in weather like this, it's a safe bet that you won't be offending too many people. I will say that my daughter did mention something about me smelling like a public toilet. She might have been exaggerating a bit, but maybe not too exaggerating, if you know what I mean. Otherwise, I think this definitely passes the Sensei field test. And with that, thanks for watching. Domo arigato gozaimasu. Stay warm.